Welcome back to the Vintage Reserve, the channel where we go and hunt for antiques, collectibles, pop culture, anything cool and interesting for a good deal at thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales, anywhere where a good deal can be found. And right now we are in the process of trying to make a profitable antique booth. So not a full booth, just a case. We've rented out a big glass case at one of the local antique malls, and we're seeing, can we make a reasonable profit buying things cheap, pricing them, throwing them in the case, and then just leaving them and seeing if they sell or not. And we have the results of our very first month of doing that. I'm going to share all of that at the end of the video. But before that, it's been a few weeks since my last video. I've been very busy. A good friend of mine got married, and I was helping out with the bachelor party and the wedding and things like that. So I've been running all around. But it's also the start of garage sale season here in Buffalo, and there have been a lot of really great finds already and a lot of garage sales. So let's take a look. I filmed a few videos on things that I found, and we'll go over our massive haul from the last basically 3 weeks. So enjoy. Okay, we're at the Goodwill, and we've got 3 great items today. For $5, we've got this really nice like metal vase in like a glass box. Looked it up online and it seems to be worth, I mean, anywhere like from 50 to 100 bucks. This is just like metal art, but it's like a candle holder. I can't tell how old it is, but it's only $6, so I'll take a chance on that. And then a little resin cube with a bunch of pennies in it for $2. That's perfect for the booth. This is something I need to get more familiar with, is art. Like specifically printed art and painted, because like, I mean, some of these are like $10, $5, and some of the artists and the prints online go for a lot of money. For example, this one, there's literally this exact same print, signed and everything, that sells for like $100 to $150 online, like actual sold comps, and this is 10 bucks. And there's all of this like vintage stuff from like the 1800s. I know this stuff is worth money, I just don't know how to sell it. So, I don't know, maybe we'll take some chance. And there's tons of it. There's probably like 7 or 8 things like this here. So we just keep an eye out for the actual art. Like this, I love this. It's not framed though. That's an actual oil painting. Someone painted that by hand. One of one, you know, a G. Livzel, handmade pastel painting, like real art, just sitting there for like $10 and under. Vintage beer advertising. This is the kind of stuff that you can find if you actually look for it. I just need to figure out how to value it. So, scored this for $10, a bit more than I normally pay, but it's all handmade, one of a kind, and signed. So for 10 bucks, I just really like the look of it. All right, at Goodwill again, and I've got a solid brass bowl. It's got like etching on it, like it's Chinese or Asian. I'm getting this bag for $6 because it's got these hand-blown glass like fish in it. This, I'm pretty sure, is not real Murano glass, but it is in the style. It's hand-blown. It's for $6. I'll take it. And then this is for personal use for a candy dispenser. If I didn't already have so much stuff, these hand-carved African like animal sculptures would be kind of cool. $8 though. That's kind of pricey for what I'm looking at. Hand-carved wooden container, that was kind of cool.
It's okay. We're
I just saw it on here. It says one.
okay.
We're gonna hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Such a nice day.
Yeah, look you.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a great day. It's still raining out. You might get wet. You might get wet.
Found a Mario Wii game for $6. Choose Your Own Adventure book and a massive glass diamond. So they've got like over like 50 of these vintage early 90s like Warner Brothers and Disney like plush, but they've got them all like $4.50 a piece. So I've only grabbed a few of the ones that lot well together, like the Scooby-Doo, this entire bag of Looney Tunes, which is awesome, and then this for personal use, it's gonna go on the shelf at home, and then some vintage action figures too, as well as a leather gun holster, because America, why not? I was so distracted inside I forgot to film inside, but I think I found my favorite things ever at the thrift store. This is an ottoman electric like foot and calf massage chair. It was only $10 on the tag. And this brand new was like $400, and on eBay they sell for like $200. All right, so we got the booth all stocked up again, and I got some good news. We have actually broken even this month, so that is pretty great news. I have implemented a shelf in the booth that is items for $25 and under. Most of it's anywhere from like 5 to 15 is the average. Got the video games, got some D&D stuff, so hopefully this helps out. I also try to keep the really high-end stuff more so on the top. So we've got like the brass, the bronze, the Fenton, the cool art pieces, and anything like really nicely handmade. So we will see. And then I've got a little thing here. So if any of you found the channel because of this, please leave a comment, let me know. So I want to apologize. I didn't have as much filmed of the actual buying experience as I would like to, but some situations, a lot of stores either have like really loud music or I'm just in such a hurry. And especially for the garage sales, it can be kind of disrespectful to like have your phone out, you know, and doing like an intro and stuff, or trying to explain things when you're in the middle of going through people's stuff. Some people don't think very kindly of that. And I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. Also, sometimes these garage sales get extremely competitive. I've got a story to share with you in a second here, because I almost got into a fight. Wasn't a fun experience, but it turned out okay. So let's go through and talk about all of the items that we've purchased in the last few weeks. To start with, one of the best finds is this. This is, as I showed you in the video, it was kind of late at night, an Ottoman 2.0 robotic calf and foot massager, and it works. You can like adjust the position so it can, you're gonna have it like at the end of like a lazy boy or something, or like an office chair. I honestly might end up putting that in my office at work, just because I'm sure is gonna be very relaxing to have, and it was only $10. This brand new was $400, and they sell pretty consistently for about 200 used. Like there's a refurbished website that makes start at $250, so $10 is a steal on that. There was a flea market at the Antique World place where I sell, where I've got the antique booth, and there's a guy that has a whole bunch of like media that he's always selling. And the Blu-rays he usually sells for $5 a piece, but he missed a box or didn't organize a box, and decided to sell off any Blu-rays that were in that box for $1 a piece. So I got each of these Blu-rays for just $1, and several of them are still sealed. So these will be going in the my media room for my own collection, not reselling any of that. I'm not much of a reseller, to be honest. I'm more of a collector, and the antiques is just trying to make some extra cash. One of two really good garage sale scores. This was literally driving home after work. There's been a lot of garage sales that have started doing like preview nights that are like 5 to 8 p.m. I love that. So many more people getting out of work can actually go to them, and you don't have to lose out all of the really good stuff to the flippers and the full-time resellers. So there was one place I stopped at. A whole neighborhood was having a preview night, and a lady was getting set up, and I asked if they had any video games, and they had a little stack of stuff. They said someone had come by earlier and purchased most of it. But as I was there, her sister was actually getting out of her car because the previous person, the full-time reseller, had asked for video games. Her sister had gone to her house and grabbed a whole bunch of other video games that she owned and was bringing those to the sale at that moment. So I was kind of the right place at the right time. And they had a Xbox One S like in the box. They had a bunch of Xbox games and a few other like weird retro plug-in games that I wasn't really interested in and didn't have the cash on me for. But I got this complete in-box Wii with Wii Sports Resort, and Mario Kart with 6 OEM controllers, the 5 nunchucks, and then a whole bunch of the attachments, including the Mario Kart steering wheels. That whole lot there was $50, which I think was absolutely a great deal. Video games usually are not things I resell. They usually stay in my personal collection. I'm building a massive retro kind of gaming collection. So usually that stuff is for personal use, and I don't look at it as profit. If I get duplicates, sometimes I trade for other video games, but I rarely resell them. So I don't really consider myself a reseller of video games. Getting on to some other things. This was $1. I love Legos. I've got a huge Lego collection. You're seeing a theme. I'm a bit of a nerd. This was sealed and it was $1, so that was fantastic. You saw the video. There was a huge collection of vintage plush that was donated. I ended up getting a few of them. These I'm probably going to try selling on eBay. Of course, Mojo Jojo staying in my collection in the game room. There was a Neopet, and Neopets, I wasn't actually allowed to use computers or anything when those were popular, when all of my peers were into that stuff. So I honestly grabbed this just to say that once in my life I owned a Neopet. There was a ton of really cool artwork. Because the antiques aren't selling as well as I had hoped, and we'll get to the final numbers in a bit here, I've kind of cut down on what I'm grabbing. So I'm really only grabbing the stuff that I find really interesting or that I think genuinely is worth a lot. So for example, this Russell Williams signed print from 1994. This like exact one sells every day basically on eBay for around $100. So that's like a almost guaranteed $100 for that. That was $10. I took the tag off to clean it because I'm reaching out to a local art auction house for some stuff that I want to kind of get rid of and see how much I can get. There was also this, which is like a vintage print of a New York City fireman like rescuing people from a burning building. And then this cool old car advertisement for the Pierce Arrow car from, what was that, 1912. I don't know if that's like a reprint or not, but either way, it's pretty cool and it's nicely framed. Next up, we had some interesting art pieces. We've got this like big tiki dude mask that you put a candle on. That was a few bucks. This glass vase, it's not real Murano. It is actual like glass like art in it. However, it doesn't go all the way through, so I'm pretty sure this is just kind of a reproduction of sorts. But it was only $6, so I thought that was funky and cool. We had the leather holster here, and I mean, to have a real leather holster for $10, I mean, I've seen them sell anywhere from $50 to $150 online, so I might actually keep that for some cool, Comic-Con convention stuff. Another thing I'm probably keeping is this tornado vase. I just think it's really cool. It was only $5, and it'll probably be going on my mantle over there, along with this, which was also, I believe, I paid $5 or $8 for it. Just kind of glass, hand blown, and this like little fire symbol of sorts. That's going to also go over on the mantle. And then there was the first garage sale I went to had some cool stuff there. This is actually signed. And that, like, this is a really nice glass, like oil lamp. So that'll stay probably in my collection. This was like a cool, like eggshell style vase. I don't know what I'm doing with that yet. I liked it enough to grab it, and it was only like $4 or $5. anytime you find vintage books, look for ones that are very popular, like titles people know. For example, Charles Dickens, obviously most well known for probably The Christmas Carol. So if you find the Christmas books collection, really any of the prints, because they will usually have the Christmas Carol in them, and this one does. I picked that for $5, and some of them go for like $50 to $80 online. I don't think that one does, but for $5, it was still worth it. There were a few actually at the thrift store, some good deals on some video games, just some fun art pieces for $2. It's a bunch of pennies and a piece of ceramic there, or sorry, ceramic, acrylic. I'm pretty sure they're like handmade Murano glass fish. On eBay, they sell for about $10 to $15 a piece, so that's a cool little find. That was in a $5 or $6 bag at the thrift store. What else am I missing? Talked about the candlesticks. Some of these candlesticks, as you saw, there was the one garage sale that I did get some filming in at. Wonderful people. It was actually pretty close to where I live, so I didn't have to go very far at all. But I grabbed these 3 kind of brass candlesticks. And then at the thrift store, for $5 a piece, they had this set as well, which is a little bit more intricate, a little bit nicer. So those, I think, are cool for either decorating or reselling. So that's also nice. And then also, I picked up from that same garage sale, you probably saw it in the video, this beautiful stand to like display art and vases on. And right now I've got from my previous video that Louis Sclafani art glass bowl on there. So I'm also going to try to put this through an art auction and see how much I can get for that. And by far the best find the past few weeks was this lot of gaming stuff. I got to a garage sale just as they were opening up, and they had some really cool board games, including Atmosphere, which is a really fun game. It's an old game that had like a VHS tape that would play along with it, and they made some remakes with DVDs. You can actually find the videos on YouTube, so you don't need the DVDs anymore. Super fun. But he had really great prices on this stuff. And I got there as they're opening up, so I got all of it. Basically, he wanted $50 for the PS4 inbox, $50 for the PlayStation VR inbox, like $10 per like controllers. There's 50 cents a piece is what he asked for the games, and there's about 60 games there. He also had a Wii U that the rest of it's over there that he wanted $30 for. In total, he was basically asking about $200 for everything. And I was super excited. I actually haggled a little bit, and we agreed on $185. He actually started the haggling without me doing it. He basically said that he'd throw in like the controllers and stuff with the consoles since I was buying everything, which I thought was pretty reasonable. And as I was buying all this stuff, an individual walked up that tried talking him out of it. Found out later he was a reseller who specializes basically in video games. There's a lot of those around me. There's like 6 or 7 people that do it full time, and they've got 3 to 5 dozen people that kind of do it part-time, hunting garage sales for inventory for them. And this is one of those guys that goes out basically to make extra cash hunting inventory at garage sales. And he basically got irate and was screaming and trying to talk the guy out of selling the items to me because he wanted them, because he was going to make a lot of money himself on them. By the way, I'm not selling any of this. This is all stuff that goes in my game collection. I'm trying to collect all of the vintage consoles for my game room. I'm trying to have like all of the games I can for every console. That's an impossible task, but I figure, anytime I come across something I don't have at a garage sale that's a good price, I buy it and throw it in the collection. And especially stuff that's boxed looks so much nicer displayed on a shelf. And then it also helps me organize stuff so that when I do want to play a PS4 game or set up, the PS VR and do some Beat Saber, then I have it all displayed there in a box and then can take it out and I'll have it organized. But this guy was upset. He became irate, was screaming and yelling and throwing insults around and making both me and the other garage sailors and then also the homeowner who was hosting the sale very uncomfortable. We eventually got the guy settled down and he stormed off. We actually thought for a bit that we'd have to call the cops on him. He was very, very upset and very immature about the whole thing. Don't do that. It's not like this is like thousands of dollars worth of stuff, And the guy knew what it was worth. He was getting basically what he was asking for. And because of the whole incident with this guy causing a scene, I did go, and when I took the cash out for the guy to purchase this, even though we had agreed on $185, I took the full $200 out for him because it was a fair price, and I kind of felt bad that the whole situation had popped up with this reseller that was very upset that I'd gotten to these games before him. Even though me and the homeowner had talked for a bit afterwards, kind of to decompress after the whole thing. And we laughed about it and kind of joked that, like, yeah, it was no one's fault except that guy's. He was happy to sell the stuff. He was happy for the money he was getting. I was happy to add this to my collection. And it ended up being a good day. Speaking of doing well, how did the antique booth do? So we've got our glass case at the antique mall, and it's been a full month. And we did receive our end of the month check from the sales of the booth. And that check was $55. So the monthly rent for the booth is $50. And they also take a 3% cut for advertising. So we more or less broke even, which is not the worst case for our first month, our first time trying to sell antiques at an antique mall and have a booth like this. We very well could have lost money, which if you factor in the money that we spent on the items that we sold, technically we did, but that really wasn't very much. So I wish it had gone better, but it is a learning experience. As you saw in the video, I did take one of the shelves and changed it to be a $25 and under. There's a lot of $5 and $10 items there. So we will see if that is going to help increase sales for this second month coming up here. Stay tuned. If you liked the video and want more updates, like, subscribe, click that bell to wait and receive notification of our next video. And until then, thank you very much for watching. This has been the Vintage Reserve.